Welcome back to Wrap 4 TV. We're doing an update on the box magazines. Some of you have taken the option of receiving the magazines in their current configuration, so we can take this time to give a few pointers so you guys can get the best experience out of the box magazine as it stands, at least until we send all the replacement parts that are necessary to have this working in ultimate, basically as it's designed to. But for now, there's a couple things that should be taken into account. As has been discussed, it is important that you do not put a full capacity on this. Generally, rather than counting the balls, you can just basically look if it's about the halfway position on the view window. Again, halfway. That should give you anywhere from 100 to 150, give or take. So once again, as you're getting your box mag, first thing to do would be take it out of the packaging. Make sure you get a nice fresh battery. Energizer works, Duracell works, or basically any battery that has a high milliamp hours rating. So something that has 1100 hours or something would be very good to use. Okay, so make sure it has a battery. Next step, of course, before you insert into the gun would be to, well, before you insert into the gun, you will cycle from off to on. That will cycle the paddles and it'll fill the whole paintball stack so it can chamber the balls. But before doing that, it is very important that you make sure that the paintballs will be able to feed through the collet or the feed neck. As is common these days, bore matching in paintballs, I mean, you just got to keep track of it. So if the ball is too big, basically you can tell if it's too big. Rather than inserting it through the side ports, you would check first to see if it drops down. See, obviously if you have the collet up like that, it won't, but it's going down. So you can try different paintballs and it's going down. So again, just check, make sure that you are getting, the balls are going through the collet here. If they're going through there, that means when they cycle from the opposite side, you'll have no problems. We recommend that you do this with basically the paintballs that you put inside. Okay, this is basically for really oversized paintballs. It will not work that well. Of course, if you really have the balls you can't get away from it, you're already out there in the field. Something that you can do is basically disassemble this collet and remove the bearings on there and see if that helps. It might, and if it does, just make sure that you don't lose them so you can reassemble it later. Okay, so once you have checked that, your next step would be to load the paintballs. Well, we don't have many here, but you basically load them. You can use a pod to load them. And again, just be mindful that you do fill it to about halfway. Next step is to insert it into the gun. Cycle it to the on position, and you're ready to get shooting. As with any system, we are working against gravity, and because of the weaker motor, we suggest that once you get a stream of paintballs, you can keep the stream of paintballs, but the start-stop shooting is where you might have a potential for a chop, especially if you have a 3-round burst, for example. Wait till it completes a 3-round burst before re-engaging the trigger and doing the next follow-up shots. Semi-automatic, we have not noticed many problems, so you can basically cycle as fast as a finger can cycle it. Full automatic, again, it has not have a problem. It's normally just in the start-stop firing modes that it could have an issue. Okay, another thing, if you do turn this on, and it has a battery inside, and this is outside of the gun, basically there's the Nautilus drive system. It has basically a receptor here that if there is too much ambient light, it will basically cycle the box mag on its own. So it's very important that when you do not have it in the gun, always cycle it off. It'll just make your life easier, not having to either pick up the balls or lose them, for that matter. Okay, so for all of you that have taken this box magazine, just rest assured that we'll get you all the components that you need so we can get this working to its optimal position. Thank you very much.